All right, so y'all, this is another question that one of our classmates asked, and this is actually question number 2 out of 8.3. And it says, can two forces of 486 newtons and 438 newtons act on a point? The resultant force is 906 newtons. Find the angle between the two forces. Okay, so y'all, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to draw a picture. We have some point and we have two forces. One of them is 486 newtons, and the other one, my friends, is 438 newtons. And then it says the resultant force is 906. So, y'all, the resultant force is going to be this one that comes out here, and we know that's going to be 906. And what we're looking for is the angle between these two forces. We're trying to see if we can find that angle. So, y'all, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to sort of draw a couple of things. Y'all, we can make a parallelogram. I can draw this side right here, and that side, my friends, would also be 486. And we can draw another one right here, and this side, y'all, would also be 438. Okay, so, y'all, a couple of things we want to do here. Since we're really interested in finding this angle, my friends, if I were to extend this out a little bit like that, this purple angle, we're now in light blue, y'all, would be the same thing as that angle right there. Okay. And the way I can find that angle, y'all, is if we could first find this angle here, then we could find the blue one by subtracting it from 180. So, y'all, I'm going to do this. I'm going to say, look, how about, y'all, if we call this, this green angle here, y'all, let's call that angle A. Okay. So, y'all, a couple things that we know. We could do a couple of things just from the law of cosines. We know that the side opposite of that, 906, oops, 906, not 902, but 906 squared, y'all, would be equal to 486 squared plus 438 squared minus 2 times 486, 438, and the cosine of, say, angle A. Okay. So, y'all, if we wanted to solve this for the cosine of angle A, we could say, look, we're going to take 906 squared, we're going to subtract 486 squared, we're going to subtract 438 squared, and we're going to divide that by negative 2 times 486 times 438, and that would be equal to the cosine of my angle. And then if we wanted to find the angle itself, y'all, we could take the cosine inverse, right? So let's do this on our calculator. So I'm going to grab my calculator right here, y'all. Let me turn this guy on. So I have 986. Let me see, 986 squared minus 486 squared. Okay, minus 438 squared. Okay, and I'm going to hit equals, and then I'm going to divide that, y'all, by, let's go like this, negative 2 times 486 times 438. Okay. And that right there is giving me the, something doesn't seem right. Let me see. 906, 486. Let me see. Did I do something wrong? Let me see. Oh, it was 906. I put 986 up here, y'all. Sorry about that. 906. My bad. Okay, let me fix that. 906 squared minus 486 squared minus 438 squared. Okay, equals, there we go. Divide that by a negative 2 times 438 and 4, 6. Okay, let's go like this. Here we go. Okay, now, y'all, we're going to take the cosine inverse of our answer. And, y'all, that is giving me 157.31. So my angle A is 157.31. I'm curious, round to the nearest integer. So, y'all, what I would say is that my angle A here would be 157. So now, if I wanted to find this angle, I could just say, what's 180 minus a 157? And that's 3, and that's 23 degrees, y'all. So that angle right there, my friends, would be 23 degrees. I come back here and we drop in a 23 and we check it and we're good. And the other question that somebody asked y'all was number 5. So let me do this. Let me copy my number 5 and let's see if we can't figure this one out too, y'all. So let me copy this. Boom. Let's bring it down here. Let's drop it like it's hot. Okay. And let's see if we can't figure out, y'all, number 5. So number 5 says a ship leaves a port bearing on 45 degrees and travels 10.1 miles. The ship then turns due east and travels 5.6 miles. 2 questions. How far is the ship from the port and what is its bearing from the port? Okay, so look, y'all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw a picture and we're going to say, okay, look, so a ship leaves a port on a bearing of 45 degrees. So look, y'all, what that means is that if this is right, I'm heading north like this, but we're going on a bearing of 45 degrees, that means we're doing this number, y'all, where that angle right there is 45 degrees, okay? Then what happens? Then we turn east. So we're going this way and we travel 5.6 miles. We want to know how far is the ship from the port. So, y'all, we are looking for that distance right there. We also know that we traveled 10.1 miles. Okay. So, y'all, a couple things I'm going to do here. Well, you notice we got a right triangle. Okay. So notice, y'all, remember, in a triangle, all of my angles add up to 180, right? So look, y'all, we already knew that that was 45 degrees and that's 90. That's got to be 45 degrees. So if I wanted to find, say, the measure of that angle, wouldn't we have to take 180 minus 45? That would give us 135 degrees. So this angle down here, my friends, a 135, okay? Now, the reason I want to know that is if I'm trying to find this distance right here, y'all, I'm just going to call that z, okay? I could use my law of cosines and say z squared is 10.1 squared plus 5.6 squared minus 2 times 10.1, 5.6 times the cosine of 135 degrees. And then to find z, we would just take the square root of all that business, right? So look, let's grab our calculator. Let's move this guy this way. Let's clear it out. Say, what's 10.1 squared plus 5.6 squared, okay, minus 2 times 10.1 and 5.6, and then the cosine of 135, okay, and I need to take the square root of that. So y'all, for z, I'm coming up with 14.606. I'm curious, what do they want me to round to? Just to the nearest tenth. So z, y'all, is 14.6. So we found that side right there, y'all, to be 14.6, okay? And let's see, we also want to know, y'all, the bearing from the port. So, y'all, I'm also curious in being able to find this angle for right now. I'm really interested, y'all, in the entire angle, but right now, I just want to find this angle. Let's call that little part that I'm trying to find, guys, angle A. Okay. So notice what I could say, y'all. I could say the sine of A divided by the side that's opposite, 5.6, is equal to the sine of 135 divided by that 14.6. So that now we could say sine of A equals 5.6 times the sine of a 135 over 14.6. And then we could take our sine inverse, right? So let's clear this guy out. 5.6 times the sine of a 135, okay, divided by 14.6, okay, equals, and now, y'all, I'm going to take my sine inverse of my answer, And for that angle, guys, I'm coming up with about 15.73. So let's see, this angle here, 15.73. So if I wanted to know the entire angle, y'all, I would take 45 and add 15.73. 7, let's see, that's 0, carry the 1, 60.73. So let's check our answers first of all. Let's say this is 14.6. Okay, check that, good. And the nearest angle, y'all, they are asking me to go to the nearest tenth. So I'm going to say 60.7. So right here, my friends, I'm going to say 60.7. I'm going to check it, and we are done. Let's hit OK.